What's up, guys? Been a while since I've done an update. Between dealing with getting my car in the shop, which I should be hearing something today. Hopefully, I should be, because it should be done today, I think. Or whatever, but, sorry, I'm just getting on the highway right now. Now, I've been making trips down to the house here ever so often to, let's see if I can make this work. There, not so loud. I was making trips down to the house. Like right now, I'm headed back to my folks' place again because I had went down to my place to go ahead and start ripping up the floor in the bathroom, and then I cut the sheet of ply to go in there on the floor because I tore up all of the old bad crappy top floor, like the wood, the rotted floor and all that shit. And thankfully the beams underneath are pretty good. The subfloor is fine. But I had enough lumber to get basically all of the bathroom, except for like this 4-inch strip at like 85 inches long. So the length of the room, which is fine. I've got to get, because I forgot I forgot screws. And everything else, I just forgot screws. So it's like, whatever, because I got to get linoleum still, and I've got to get a new faucet, and the plumbing stuff for the sink and faucet, because the faucet that I had gotten for the place, that's long gone. I'm not sure if that was snatched up or if that was packed up. I'm pretty sure it was left. I just kind of gave up on that shit where my neighbors and them were concerned. Got everything back. There's things I got to replace, like the linoleum and the sink faucet and the plumbing for it, because I have the sink and vanity and all that stuff. But next weekend, hopefully, I'll be going back down and get that finished, so that then there's a functioning, working bathroom. Like 2 of them, basically. 2 toilets that work. 2 sinks that work. And not just one bathroom you can shower, bathe, or wash your hands and brush your teeth in, but then you have to use the master bedroom bathroom to go to do number 1 or number 2. Or both. But I've just been trying to stay positive, not overstress about things. I'm kind of just in the mood of just lying to you and telling you everything's great. I mean, the stuff with the house, it's fine. That is fine. I'm just kind of I'm still in a pretty weird, fucked up headspace. There's things that I do want to talk about and all that stuff, but I don't bother at all anymore. I haven't bothered in a long time. I've mentioned things here and there over the last few months at least. I know off and on in the past, but I'm in a place where I'm making some pretty big decisions, and it's not just dealing with the move. Anyways, to not so much to change the direction a little bit. While I was there tearing up the floor in the main bathroom, this realtor had showed up, and I didn't know anybody was showing up to show the house. I was just there trying to do repairs and, get the updates in the bathroom. So basically, for most part, all the little stuff is done outside of like some sheetrocking and stuff like that. It's got to get done in the hallway still. I was making sure at least bathroom, everything else was dealt with. In the long run, the home's being left in way better condition than what it was when I got it. It wasn't even livable when I got the house. I couldn't live in it for a good 2 years there. But I did live in a trailer outside of it, which was fine. It just got really damn cold during the wintertime. Anyways, the realtor went in to show the people. Wasn't even there 5 minutes. She was getting real snarky and bitchy, and she's sitting there going, "Oh, there's just so much work in there to be done." I'm sitting there going, "Well, the hard work for what most people are going to do themselves is already being done." Mine is like I said, some of the sheetrocking. Because when it comes to kitchens, the kitchen there just it works. It's fine. It's just it does need updated. It's outdated and it does need updated, but works for what it is. But most people, when they go to put in new counters and shit like that, they pay somebody the company that they buy from to get new counters and cabinets and shit is usually the company that installs them too. So people normally are going to pay somebody to, in essence, flip their kitchen, minus say installing new lights and shit. Then say like the gutters, you're usually going to pay the company that you buy the gutters from to install them. So there's those types of things is what they're pretty much being left with. Any crappy spots in the siding, like for most of them, I went through and filled a lot of them. Then all I'd have to do is just shave it back, which I did on a lot of it. Shave it back, and then you can putty it. Bondo it like you would a car, considering it's, yeah. I had to do a lot of repairing, a lot of weird shit that the last owner did to the house. When the market guy, excuse me, was telling me about the last owner, I guess the last owner was a scientist. I know the guy was retired Navy, which isn't, yeah, cool. I respect that. The original owner was a World War II veteran, which I'd actually visit his grave each year, leave like flowers or whatever for him and his wife because they're side by side. I've never met them before, but just kind of pay my respects to the original owners, and at the same time, man, being a veteran, my family were all veterans. I was the only one that couldn't serve because of my health. Too many spots in my spine crushed, and I remember the first time when I tried getting in, yeah, I failed the UA even though I went clean for a long time. I was a fat little fucker, and anybody who knows how that shit works, THC attaches to the fat. So if you're heavy and you're overweight, if you fail a UA, you could go clean, but you're in a lot and stop smoking or partaking anything for months, and I do mean months, and you can still end up failing because it'll still be in your fat cells. So I had to deal with that. I mean, it was a combination of that and my NF with where my spine was concerned. Even if I passed the UA, I wouldn't have passed the medical part, because they would have found it in my medical history that my spine's fucked up. They would have taken me if I only had, like, say, 2 crushed discs. But anything more than that, they won't take you. Nowadays, I don't know. Back then, that's what it was. But no, this last owner, the market guy, knew him, and I guess he used to work for the market guy. And he was telling me the guy's like some sort of scientist. When we moved there, that house had like 4 or 5 satellite dishes all attached, facing roughly the same direction, all this shit. And I'm sitting there going, is this guy trying to contact aliens? That's my first thought. And then, you know, you got the market guy and then some of the neighbors out there and all that stuff in that area. I believe in Bigfoot. I believe in aliens as much as I believe in God. And these folks, though, it's like, oh yeah, this. They've got all kinds of stuff to tell you about aliens and stuff out there. So I was like, okay, that's most likely what dude was doing. Because the house is damn near, just from the way the cable lines to those satellite dishes were all wired up and all, the house may as well have been a Faraday cage at the base. You know, at the foundation. It was just weird. Down to digging out all their shit and that was down in the ground up there, and yeah. Anyways, to get back to the realtor thing, I got sidetracked. The realtor it wasn't even there 5 minutes, and she was already being kind of a bit of a snarky bitch. And I had 2 of my dogs with me. I got them with me now, my Mr. Bear and Momo. Yeah, Misha was there and all that stuff. At first they're barking and all that stuff, but then once I got them in the car so that way they went and, you know, the people can see the place real quick. And as I said, they weren't even there 5 minutes. So, oh no, there's too much work. And I'm sitting there going, yeah, I'm doing most of the hard work for you, and the place is slowly getting cleaned out the best I can. I have to make 600-mile round trips, and these people are bitching they had to drive like 75 miles. So 150-mile round trip, and I'm sitting there looking at them like, I'm more than happy not to sell to you guys. But the realtor was being a real bitch about it. She's trying to be nice, but she's being a bitch. She's actually being really rude. And I was trying to explain to them what updates were done, and they just kind of were like, fuck off. I'm like, you're going to say that to the owner? I don't even want you on my property at this point. That's how I felt. But as she was, you know, being pretty fucking rude, my dog Misha thought, well, alright. And she walked up and just pissed all over the realtor's foot. The realtor had these, I want to call them like these like Greek sandals, like lace sandals that go up like your ankle and your shin and stuff, but she's wearing these open-toed sandals on, pissed right in her shoes. Well, karma took care of that. So, no, I ended up, you know, listening to their little complaints, and I addressed it with the listing agents and stuff like that, and the sellers, like, you know, hey, this is what's going on. I think we're dealing with a couple issues on this, and it's like, yeah, it might take a little longer to sell, but I think an honest listing would do better, because clearly people don't look at the fucking pictures that well. They probably just scroll through, oh, this looks nice. I can get a house that has all this shit for under $250,000 and it doesn't need any work. It's like, are you serious? That was what I was getting, the bullshit that I was getting from these people. They were complaining about the price and that there being so much work. The home got priced about $20,000 below the bottom value of the house and property, and we're also adding on another half acre to the property, to the house. It's going to be like 1.62 acres, something like that. If we can get our hands on the back half acre one, it ends up being like 2.12 acres. But it's just going to end up being more and more land for the new owners, and the price is just going to go up. And all I can think to myself is please, can you point to somewhere in Oregon that you can find a house under $250,000 that does not require any major repair? Because is if you can find one that doesn't require any major repairs, like any form of major repairs, even if, you know, whether it's a new roof or flipping a kitchen, the roof on my place is fine. But, you know, flipping kitchens or having to redo the plumbing, the electrical, all this shit, please point to one in Oregon, because I'd like to find one. You're not going to find it unless it's a manufactured home. And even then, a lot of times you're lucky to find a home built in the late 70s and into the mid 90s for under $100,000 and it not require some sort of work on it like that. And then you got to pay for fucking space rent too. Like, that's why I'm moving out of Oregon. I was like, if you can point to a fucking place that I can get a house here in Oregon for under $250,000 and it not require any type of major repair at all, or say any set of repairs. It doesn't have to be a major repair. It could be just needs new paint, new carpet, you know, throw in some new toilets and some updates in the home. Might as well say the accumulation of work could be the equivalent of a major repair. Please point to a house in Oregon that you can get. Yeah. That's all that's been going through my head. It's like, if you're moving into Oregon and you're thinking you're going to find a house for under $300,000 that doesn't have any need of repairs, although could be or is livable. Yeah, like I said, if you can find anything under $300,000, good fucking luck. Point it out to me, please. And it can't be a manufactured home in a fucking park somewhere or on somebody's private property where you're still paying them some sort of rent for the space you're using. Because we do have those here too, where it's not really a park, it's just people who've got a lot of land and it's broke up into lots so that they can rent out those lots if they want, since they're separate tax lots. They can put a manufactured home on it, make sure it has, you know, a well or some sort of, you know, septic and water, whether it comes from, you know, your septic, your sewage is city and your water is connected to the city lines, or you've got a well and a septic tank. They got to make sure that that's all in there, but then they can turn around and rent that lot out to you. Yeah, you can buy the home on it, but you have to rent the space as if you're in a park. And so that's what yeah, no, it was just interesting. I've been in hermit mode quite a bit here lately, and I haven't really been, as you can tell, I haven't really been messing with my channel much right now. Just overwhelmed with a lot of things. Between this house, the moving, just a lot of things. There's a lot of things going on that, yeah, and some things I'm just not going to talk about. It's a little too stressing. And I'm just trying to stay, like I said in the beginning, I'm just trying to stay positive. And when my car is finished being repaired, I'll be thankful for that. Definitely thankful for that, because I miss my little car. And then when getting really anxious, and at the same time I'm not even holding my breath anymore for whether or not my house sells. I'm absolutely done living. I'm done living there. I'm done with that fucking place. And really, if I could get someone like Mr. Beast to like buy my house for like $250K so that he can just run it over with the monster truck, That would be fucking awesome. That's all I can say. That would be awesome. Just drive through it in a tank, a monster truck. Heck, even Demolition Ranch, Brandon Herrera, anybody. Even Eddie Hall with his tank. Just drive it through the fucking house. Or get the guys from Ridiculousness to, drop a semi-truck or something on top of it. I'm just really done with that place, if you haven't noticed. I've been, since putting the home up for sale, I've been I'm even though I'm staying with family, I'm technically homeless until this place sells. Because then I can get another home. And something that, that doesn't require as much work as this, but that also requires me having to move 2,000+ miles away to make that happen. Yeah, I'm stressing a little bit on the idea that I'm going to be leaving basically all friends and family behind once I move. And so I can finally follow a dream that I've been putting off for too long, and I've allowed too many people to have too much control in my life, that because of that, it's my fault. It is my fault for allowing that to happen, and that's kept me from really being where I should be in life, and I should be doing more than what I am. Granted, I'm more limited now physically than I was 5-10 years ago. That's anybody who's 40 years old. So anybody who's in their 40s plus, they'll all say the same thing. It's just their limitations might not be as severe as mine. I'll just put it that way. Just as mine is not going to be as severe as some others. So I keep those things in mind. Nothing out here. That's all I got really to look at right now. It's just cars and nothing. I don't mind it when I keep my brain a little busy while I'm driving. Otherwise, I'm just kind of sitting there. I have to be careful with road hypnotism and not just spacing off while driving. So this just kind of helped them, kind of keeping the mind distracted a little bit. Anyways, I hope you like this little update. It's nothing big or super exciting or anything like that. It's, as I've said before, I'm in this waiting game. You know, I'm dealing with Windman Homes and Remax Homes, and it's a burnout. So when that gets done, then we can move on to we can finally check that off and move on to the next adventure, and that's finally getting another home. We'll see what happens until then. Anyways, thank you for watching. Try and have a good day and a good week. Late.